Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, we seize the day. Though first, we've got some light bookkeeping to take care of, so let's run through that. For, yes, I have had second thoughts on adjusting frontline. It's not bad, it's just, I think, too fiddly for what I'd like. You know, combat already tends to drag a bit, even without me having to count squares or combatants. And instead, I figured we'd go for something a little lower maintenance. Strategic Offensive, which, as it states here, grants a cumulative +1 bonus on all of our combat zones each time we successfully kill an enemy inside the front zone. Nice and straightforward, doesn't require any new specialized tactics outside of what we were already doing. So, I feel like that's a pretty good fit. We'll try it out for a bit, see how it works out. And then, of course, we're also still bumping intelligence. That's pretty much a given. That said, let's roll on into this mutant lair, see what's what. Back in Alpha, this was just a straight-up fight, but things may have changed since then. Some modest cargo, we'll take that. And yes, looks to be a straight-up fight. Which is fine, gives us a chance to try out the new talents. Perhaps we'll find some clues or new lore once we clear these guys out. I am curious about the mysterious man in black, spreading death in the streets. That is definitely not something I remember from Alpha.
But I will grant none.
The Masters demand your death!
3 out, nice start. Shame we couldn't frontline them first, but plenty more where that came from. Definitely meatier than I was expecting. Cast up first with a half turn. We'll go for another lightning strike, start boosting those zones.
Not this Greyer's job.
Another one out. That's +1 to all zones. Let's get our other zone set up. Still more fiddly than I'd like. They have mentioned they're working on manual rotation for zone placements. That would be nice. Alright, Paskis up. Stay on the offensive. Keep stacking our zones.
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols.
Oh, that's awkward. Fall back. There we go. And that's another +2. And +7 on pass tag. Very nice. Cast up for a full turn. Keep growing those stacks. We'll set up for a gaze.
Our heroes serve ruinous powers.
Okay, that's another +1.
Scared yet?
Not sure if that one counted. I think he died just outside the zone. But that's fine. Dead is dead. Adira's back up. Let's clear the left. Well, we'll just be killing the weaker one, but that's still an extra +1 for all zones. Oh, sorry. You're fine. We're all fine. Just a little unsolicited feedback.
Farewell.
And another +1. Yeah, I like that. I like that new talent on Pask. Really works well with our current crew. The triple Grand Strat lineup makes it easy to move the zone around as needed. Your lance up. Let's start whittling these guys on the right.
I bring ruin.
Oh,
Death to the weak.
they're actually using Psyker powers. They just nearly maxed out the Veil degradation. We'll have to be very careful with Adira.
On it. I'll make it happen.
Infector out. Let's get Abby on the left flank. We'll have Pask take the guy in back.
It will be done. Victory is imminent. It will be done.
Crush the feeble. I am your doom.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. It's like change of plans, I guess.
Running binaric override. The spiritual prognosis is favorable.
I really should pick up Mecha Dendrite push at some point, too. That would have come in handy there. Pull.
Let's make it quick.
Perfect. Well, aside from the giant noxious cloud of festering disease, I guess I could have lived without that, but what are you going to do? That is actually also starting to become a bit of a problem.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Yeah, just hold. I'd really rather not venture into those clouds.
On it.
Shoot, I was really hoping that would clear the disease.
But of course.
Nice tag. Finish off the closer guy. Ooh, wild hunt. Sure, why not?
My heart sings with the thrill of battle!
Not huge damage, but we'll take it. Especially since that doesn't count towards our attack limit.
I understand your intent.
Oh, so close. Come on. Keep on carving.
Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally.
Lock him down.
At your beck and call.
The Omniscience knows all, comprehends all.
Nice. And pull.
I am a navigator, not a...
Hey, okay. And then there was one. And then there were none. Fall back. Let's toss out some quick heals just in case.
Did I mention that my whispers tell me jokes? Jokes that once said aloud make your eyes bleed and blood curdle.
What advice do you seek?
Yeah, that's probably fine. Not expecting any more fights. I just don't want to miss more skill checks if we can help it. That is, after all, how we missed the Book of Excess back at the Stenza's estate. Another copy of Hieronymus's teachings. Interesting. A big old pile of assorted cargo.
The machine god grants me insight.
More assorted cargo. Plus a multi-key. We'll take it. Imperial Pride. Unique bolter with enhanced damage. Plus additional damage against Xenos, Psychers, and Servants of Chaos. Not what you'd expect to find on a bunch of mutants. Interesting. Though I suppose the teachings from Reverend Hieronymus would also kind of go against the idea that these guys are servants of Nurgle or some other chaos god. Huh.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I guess I was really expecting another cult reveal, but all signs point towards these being unfortunates who were technically Imperial faithfuls with the
Keep a sharp eye.
simple misfortune of being mutants. Then again, there were folks back in Alpha who also suggested Hieronymus himself might be a servant of Nurgle. A journal of one of the locals. The handwriting is barely legible, but it appears to mark the births and deaths of the inhabitants of this small community of mutants. There is no one to add the last entry. Yeah, that's very sad. But, I mean, also at the same time, they were an active hazard to everyone else on the station, so I mean, I'm not really sure there was much in the way of more ideal solutions. Pack of reagents. Increases damage of bleeding, burning, or toxin effects by +2. Not too shabby, though sadly not of much use to our current crew. And yet another copy of Hieronymus's book. Interesting. So that makes for like 5 copies we found in and immediately around the mutant lair.
Keep your wits
I do
about you.
think there is likely something going on with him. I'm just not sure if he's actually a cultist. It's just more a meta thing, you know. You know he's an important character because they actually went through the trouble of giving him a unique character portrait. You know, much in the same way that we know characters like Vladain Tokara or the bartender are apt to play more prominent roles later in the game. Kind of a dead giveaway. Let's do some quick follow-up here. Turns out you were right. The mutants were down with the sickness. But I took care of it. Hopefully things should start improving soon. Praise the Emperor! You'll tell them, right? Right? That Crew 3 or whatever they're called? Please tell them. Then maybe they won't kill us. Yes, absolutely. I will do that. Wow, so we might actually save some people. That's a refreshing change of pace. Or he might revert to earlier dialogue. I guess that's also a possibility. That doesn't seem right. That's clearly not the right dialogue. Quest does seem to have cleared. Let's have a quick chat with Tokara, see what he's got for us. Nothing. Wow, okay. I guess we're done then. I feel like something broke somewhere along the way there, but we'll just, we'll just assume the best. We'll assume everything worked out as it so often does in this grimdark future. Anyway, let's go do a scavenger hunt and try not to think about the people who are probably being burned alive. We're heroes. Realizing design. While you're pressing the keys, the cogitator appears dormant, but as you enter the last letter of the second word, it suddenly comes to life. Triumphant music pours out of it, followed by a voice. A man's voice, pleasant, with a somewhat dated pronunciation of Gothic. Greetings! Greetings to you, keen wanderer, who found my message and solved my riddle. I, Parsimus Dwayne, master of footfall, trailblazer of the expanse, am pleased to welcome visitors to my magnificent palace in the stars. Footfall is my great creation. It is what marked the beginnings of the Imperium's triumphant march into the Coronis expanse. You are here because you managed to discover the message in the Almanac of Footfall, published on my orders, and find the caches I had installed at select sites. You have seen the view from the dome of the great cathedral, the void-piercing arches of the Providence Bridge, the stars' cold gaze through the windows of the small quay. Only thus, step by step, can one experience the scale and elegance of my creation. Footfall sites are their own reward. However, I have prepared a gift for those who might unravel my riddle. Approach my statue, for the gift awaits you there. Remember, nothing must stand between you and your design, no matter how audacious and grand it may be. The voice quiets. You hear a click from the statue of Footfall's founder, as if some hidden locking mechanism has been released. Let's see what we've got. Focus Incense. Each use of Revel in Slaughter increases the wearer's perception by +10 until the end of combat. Stacks. Great for Argenta, sadly not part of our current crew. And Righteous Fury Cape. For every kill, the wearer increases their critical hit chance by +5% until the end of combat. See, that is slightly more universal. That we might get some use out of. Gotta say, Dwayne, you left some weird prizes for your biggest fans to find. Oh, and let's chat up Hieronymus while we're here.
Or get left in the dust.
The Emperor protects. Hieronymus Stellaroso's unblinking eyes fix on Yurliette. I know not why his voice, vested to protect the Imperium's borders from the intrusions of the enemies of humanity. would see fit to keep an ungodly Xenos in their retinue. But I say to you, repent, young Von Valancius, and pray to the Emperor for forgiveness, for your soul has forevermore been stained by the taint of an outsider. There can be no virtue in that which is contrary to his divine will. Juliet is busy studying the local architecture. It would seem she finds Footfall's bustle far more interesting than Hieronymus's words. Yeah, can't really blame her there. Honestly, admirable restraint on her part. Alright, let's go check in with Gordy. Looks like we'll actually have some time left. Maybe we'll go hit an uncharted sector or two. Glad to see you again. Gordy, good news. Turns out those caches were real. Though the one under the old bridge was already cleared out. It was to be expected. The puzzle is several centuries old, and the locals are quite adept at gutting, dismantling, and breaking anything that catches their eye. But the very fact that the cache ever existed gives me hope. It means that there could be others. Oh, yeah, there were definitely others. We had more luck with the lantern cache up in the atrium. That one still had a clue, pointing us towards other caches. That is incredible news. This is the first inspiring thing that has happened to me since the day I came to Footfall. Please, do not stop searching. I'm dying to know what this puzzle from the days of the station's youth is about. Well, I certainly won't keep you waiting. Once we found that clue, it didn't take long for us to track down the rest. The final cache was actually in the statue of Parsimus Dwayne. Turns out he devised the riddles himself. Here, I'll give you a copy of the message he left for future generations. A message from Dwayne himself! His eyes light up. The great dreamer and visionary. I should have guessed. Dwayne was passionate about his designs. It's no wonder he personally oversaw the creation of the booklet that described it, and even included a puzzle for the keen-minded. It's as if he spoke to me through the ages back then, just to lead me here. I feel I've been granted an honor. He takes a deep breath. I'm sorry, I should be thanking you first and foremost. For listening to me, and then solving the puzzle, and then finding the time to tell me. Now I finally feel like it hasn't all been for nothing. I'm happy to help. And look, Gordy. The reasons that brought you here may have been questionable, but I've got to say, you've impressed me with your passion and your knowledge of Imperial architecture. You even wowed my man Abby here, and that is not something I see often. Now that the riddle of Footfall Station's been solved, would you have any interest in joining my retinue? I could certainly use an expert on all things architectural on board my ship. Such good fortune is beyond even my wildest dreams, exclaims Gordy, practically bouncing in his seat. I would be delighted to serve you in the interests of your dynasty. I believe I could offer you sound advice if you decide to build a cathedral or something even more impressive. And I'll see to it that the Imperium architecture of the Coronis Expanse that I'll be fortunate enough to witness is all well documented. I'll head to your ship at once. Thank you. Hey, happy ending. Fantastic. Welcome aboard, Gordy. Please try not to die, because that would bum me out. Ooh, also, it turns out we do actually have one more thing to do while we're here. Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, trade deals / donations. Opticon, I've got that planet scan data you wanted. With a respectful nod, the tech priest takes the data slate. The collected data is of interest/significant/compliant with the criteria for cooperation. The Cognizance Fleet thanks you for your contribution and guarantees the provision of reciprocal/service/indulgence in the form of parts and equipment. Reporting. The Kappa Thread supply line is ready to continue cooperation with the Von Valancius dynasty in the sphere of planetary reconnaissance. Very nice. +1 profit factor, and I assume the opportunity to collect more data? Though I don't think we actually saw a quest pop up for that. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here now, but I do recall it being repeatable back in Alpha. That may have changed, though. I'll have to dig into that a bit more. Actually, no. We're about to hit some uncharted sectors anyway. We'll just see if it continues counting. Be right back. And we're back. And no, nothing else on the station for us right now. But I did ramp our rep with the Explorators up to rank 10. I would have spread it around a little more, but there's actually 2 really nice items a bit further up the track that I've set my sights on. So I'll probably focus on maxing out our rep with the Explorators first. And then I guess spill over to Kaspalika. But in the short term, that nets us 3 mobile extractiums, 11 large medkits, and 13 haywire grenades. Plus a nice potential upgrade for Yurliette, the Aldari Targeting Visor, which grants plus 20% to hit at range 10 or higher. Her current headgear is the one that grants plus 5 to Xenoslore, which is nice, but at the same time I feel like plus 20% to hit probably outweighs that. And then of course we also got these other assorted items, the Combat Manipulator and the Precise Lasgun, but that's just cargo for us. Let's go ahead and get that new eyepiece equipped. I suppose we'll hold on to the Combat Manipulator too. That might actually be a nice fit for Argenta. Anyway, let's get back out there. Yeah, let's hit Soto's tomb. We'll get ourselves dug in, maybe even clear out the whole sector, depending on how involved it is. No warp events, nice. And minimal branching paths, just an unsafe route to Avioris. So I guess that'll be our next stop. Oh, and pirates. We'll save that for last, I think. Fuel, nice. 3 stacks, we'll take it. Plus a Chartist's Monocle. Flat, plus 15 to commerce. And 2 stacks of Mechanicus. Very nice. What do we have on Cassia right now? The Commander's Monocle, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and swap that out. We don't use Voice of Command enough to really justify wearing an item to enhance it. We'll stack our commerce instead. And 3 more stacks fuel. Very nice. Which leaves us plenty of time for the pirates, so yeah, let's do this. It is weird the Space Hulk is still highlighted, though. Makes me feel like we missed something.
The whispers sound distant. The future is uncertain.
3 Cobra-class destroyers, no big deal. Interesting, they didn't take pot shots at us on approach. I wonder if they've tweaked ship combat again to prevent that from happening. It did kind of smack of a battle tax.
Coordinates set.
Might take some splash damage. We're getting up pretty close here. No, we're good. Ooh, that did take a chunk out of our shields, though. Let's go for number 2. And they're panicking. Lovely. Easy win. We might actually have time to hit another sector. Cobra, get to class.
Engage the engines. Keep up the pressure.
Oh, really? It's so rare to see them actually target the salvos.
Lance batteries, volley!
And we're good.
Deed.
Yeah, easy win. That was a nice, light, warm-up fight. Ooh, plus planet, right. Plasteel plus POI? Yeah, we'll take it. I think we burned most of what we had on a contract. Imperium cartographers and chroniclers know this place well. Long ago, the planet was a prosperous outpost capable of eclipsing even footfall. There used to be a Cyclopean tomb station on its orbit, the final resting place of Cornelius Soto, one of the discoverers of the Coronis Expanse. The tomb gave its name to the entire system. However, about 400 years ago, an unknown cosmic body rammed into the station, causing it to collapse onto the planet. Not only did the catastrophe kill the settlers, it also made the world uninhabitable for centuries. The crater formed by the station's impact can still be observed from orbit. Soto's tomb became a sepulcher for the entire planet. This sordid place has neither life nor loot, but knowing the nasty tricks that life can pull is a treasure in its own right. That it is. Those who do not learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. Also, just double-checking our available contracts real quick. And this is driving me crazy. The Hulk is still listed as having trophies, but I guess that must just be another display error. It does seem like they've tweaked the sector UI again. They used to have a completion percentage listed up on the top left, but that seems to be gone now. And yeah, we've still got a few minutes. Let's get a gander at Avioris. Hey, Foulstone's done with their starter project. I'll give the colony screen a peek between episodes. See what else we can do there. Four planets and a Space Hulk. Let's start working our way through. Adamantine. Only 2, but we don't have any adamantine banked yet. Yeah. We've got extractiums to spare. The Hermitage. A small human dwelling stands on this barren, deserted planet. Scouts report that an old hermit lives there, who spends his days in prayer to the Emperor. Hail, old-timer. I don't suppose you have any words of wisdom for us? To the Lord Captain's surprise, the old hermit turns out to be a navigator. And when the old man discovered the noble status of his visitor, he willingly recounted his tale. He had retreated to this planet long ago, back when he was still in his youth, after he had realized that his mind would not withstand frequent forays into the Immaterium, the realm of the archenemy. The hermit spoke with pride about how he had worshipped the Emperor each and every moment of his life. But when he mentioned the golden light of the Astronomicon, his voice quivered. When his guests left, he stared after them for a long time, his gaze filled with sadness. I really like those quick little world-building events. It would be nice if we actually got a prize or something out of them, but they're still quite enjoyable. Oh, snap. Okay, we've got an actual landing point. We'll hold off on that for the moment. Let's hit these last 3 planets first. I happen to have read about burning worlds in Pandora. It is said the fires there have been raging for close to a century, though no one knows how. How long has this one been burning? Good question? Question mark? Also, I notice we are not getting a pop-up for planet scans, so I'm not sure it's tracking them anymore. More fuel, we'll take that. Smuggler's cash. Nice. Modest assortment of consumables, plus some minor miscellaneous cargo. And 5 provisions, which we will take, yes. And sector almost clear, with the sole exception of the drifting void ship, which unfortunately we do not have time for today, so yeah, that'll have to wait for next time round. That said, still feel like we made some pretty decent progress today. Checked multiple items off our to-do list, picked up a few nice new upgrades, bumped up our rep with the Explorators, cleared a space sector and most of a second. Not too shabby. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, and we will pick up here next time. We've got plenty of space to explore. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, V23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
The future is uncertain.